it's Lauren from Love Renovate here. Today we're going to be chatting all about how to keep the costs of your extension down. So over the past couple of years we've seen a rise in labour costs and material costs, so it's so important to really have control over your budget. So we're going to be giving you different ideas throughout the planning process and during the extension to really try and keep those costs down. So the first thing to look at is the overall design of your extension. So you want to keep that as simple and straightforward as possible. So flat roof or a simple apex roof, simple glazing, just finish with the bricks rather than render or cladding. Just keep it as simple and straightforward as possible. Not only will this save on the actual labour costs and the material costs, it will also give you a bigger pool of builders when it comes to tendering for the extension. So you'll have more to choose from and potentially therefore the price will be more cost effective. The next thing to look at are what off-the-shelf products can you get for your extension. So this applies to things such as glazing is a really good one. So things such as amazing Velux lights that you can buy off the shelf will look really good. You can have a few lined up in your extension rather than, for example, a glazed roof. Be far more expensive. Something that's made bespoke is going to cost so much more. So when you're designing your extension, think about standard openings that you can just buy off the shelf windows for. Similarly, we've got patio doors are cheaper than bifold or sliding doors, but again, if you want to choose something like bifold doors, just make sure it's a standard size and you can buy it off the shelf. When you're looking at glazing as well, it's far more expensive if you have a thinner frame, so look at just standard size frames will cost you far less. So the next thing to look at is what do you really need? Do you really need to extend? So you might actually have quite a lot of space in your home already, so you might just need a small side return extension, something like that. So really look at the space you've got at the moment, what's unused, can you knock walls down, and you might not need to do as quite a big extension as you had thought. So really look at anything that's unused, where you can knock through, where you've got lots of rooms joined on, can you knock through and make the space work far better than having to do a huge rear extension. So the fourth thing that we recommend doing is really budget so well, and when you go to tender the builders, give them so much detail as possible that you get a really detailed cost that you won't have many surprises. So when you're speaking to the builders, you need to give them your plans, you need to give them your structural drawings, and you need to give them a scope of works as well as the specification of any products that you're using. And this way then they will be able to give you a really accurate quote back. You'll be able to compare the builder's quotes side by side, but also you will have something so detailed that you'll be able to keep a real control of those costs. And then when you're working with the builder, then speak to them and say, look, you've got this budget. Are there any other ways that they can recommend to bring the costs down? You know, builders have seen everything. They've got so much experience. So it might be, say, for example, they would suggest you don't need internal glazing. Leave it open at the moment until either you have got the funds to buy the glazing or just till you decide if you actually do want a door somewhere, say, between the hallway and the kitchen. So work with them. They might have good ideas of other products as well that can help save you money. So the next one is look at what you've got in your home that you can reuse. So any tiles or bricks that were in the original part of the house, can you reuse them in the build? Can you use your kitchen, for example? Can you upcycle it, repaint it and use the utility, or could you sell it on? So really think about what you've got all there already. You know, people sometimes uncover amazing flooring and reclaim it, and it looks great and it costs a fraction of buying something new, and it's also you're recycling. The sixth thing to look at is really shop around for all your products. So if you have got a budget, you're going to have to be in control of everything from flooring, kitchen, lighting, and all the appliances, say, in the kitchen. So you can look at buying things that are nearly new, maybe a dishwasher's got a scratch on it, but really be all over everything you want and what you can buy at cheaper prices. Things such as paint as well. Again, working with your builder, they will have brands that they'll be used to using. They can probably buy them at trade. Instead of buying a paint brand that you would love, you can get it mixed and matched in a similar colour. So every single small detail, look at what you could use, what could you swap it with, what you could get cheaper. We see people all the time in en-suites and bathrooms buy vanities from like Facebook Marketplace and upcycle them and then use that. It looks amazing, you have recycled and it's much cheaper. So really be all over all those small details. So number 7, the last one, is project manage it yourself. Now, only do this if you have the inclination and you have the time, because it's a big job. But if you can project manage self-employed trades, then you may save money in VAT if they are not VAT registered, and then you're going to also save money by project managing yourself. Now, this you need to be all over if you're going to do it. You need to make sure that you've got everybody lined up at the right time, so you don't overspend by having, say, a builder ready to do something when the plumber's not done. So you need to make sure that you're really on top of it, but it could lead to potential savings. We hope you found that useful. If you want to see more ideas, then head over to loverenovate.co.uk.